So chances are, if you clicked on this video, you're looking for new, fresh marketing ideas, and you probably search for them online, but what you're finding are lists of the same marketing ideas you've heard before. Do social media, get a website, do SEO, all that stuff. In this video, I want to completely break that pattern, and by the time you get through this, I want you to walk away with at least 3 ideas that you've never heard before that you can apply to your business. So let's dive right in. So idea number 1 is to make a splash at a local farmer's market or fair by giving away something for free there, and then also simultaneously pounding the local area with meta ads within a 1 mile radius. And why this works so well is because you're giving something away. You're there to help people have fun. You could give away stuffed animals that are, if your company mascot is an animal or a little guy or something, you could give that away. You could give away entries to a random drawing where the person who wins that drawing gets a free HVAC unit. You give away water bottles, t-shirts, balloons with your company branding on it. And because you are making a splash at the event and you're simultaneously running those social media ads, you're gonna get that cross channel awareness that really helps you make an impact with your brand, helps people remember you, and remember that you were there to help them have a good time. Number 2, t-shirts for you and your team that say, ask me about HVAC. So this idea is to order a bunch of shirts that you can wear out in public that maybe they don't even necessarily have your company branding on it, but they just have in big, bold, easy to read letters, ask me about HVAC. And what this does is it invites opportunities when you're just, out and about doing your thing in public for people who have a question about their system. Should I get it repaired or should I get a replacement or what should I do? And they see you have that t-shirt, they'll start conversations with you. And this, once you give them your card and they see what business you're from, this helps build trust with your business. It helps generate direct leads on the spot because those people might just want to set an appointment with you. And it is very cost effective, super easy to do, buying those t-shirts. And I have to give Tim Brown over at Hook Agency credit for this one. Got the idea from him, but there's another one for you. Number 3 is to share photos of you and your family just in your day-to-day lives, right? Going on a hike, maybe at the park, maybe some kind of family photo. And you could even get little company t-shirts for your kids to wear or something like that. People love to support people. They don't necessarily care about supporting a business. People, they see the little Service Allies logo. People might not connect with that little logo, but they do connect with me, right? So building that connection with people, especially if you're a new business, that can help people just naturally want to buy from you, want to do business with you because they're helping a person, they're helping a family rather than some giant corporation, right? You can also use that to really share what you're doing with the business, right? Where are you headed? What was your mission? What is your values? What do you want to do differently in the industry? And you can share those photos on your website, on the About page, on your social media, wherever you can, and that will help build your brand. Number 4 is unbranded road signs. Now you want to be careful with this because if you do it too much, people might just see it as littering. But if you get a bunch of yard signs that are unbranded and just say HVAC repairs or call for HVAC repairs or call for an HVAC estimate that just has that lettering on it and then just a phone number, white yard sign, black lettering, easy to read. Those things can be extremely effective for generating calls. And it's extremely cost effective too. You can order hundreds for very, very cheap and just start putting them around your town. Like I said, you don't want to overdo it because, if you have them at every single stop sign and then people might start to complain and maybe they do find out who you are and it hurts your brand. You don't want that. But in moderation, it can be a very effective lead generation tool and it's cheap. Number 5 is to mail an extremely good offer to a highly select group of addresses. And here's what I'm talking about. When you run a special offer, it increases the conversion rate. In other words, the better that offer is, the better the conversion rate on that offer is going to be. So that's true with mailers, that's true with radio, that's true with Facebook ads. But the problem is when you have a really offer that you're basically giving away the farm and you advertise it out to everybody, then you're losing a lot of money on those leads coming in. And a lot of the people responding to those types of ads are going to be people who just don't have a lot of money to begin with. And that average service ticket, the average HVAC replacement ticket just isn't going to be that good. But when you combine this strategy of doing some insanely good offer and only send that to a list of highly targeted homeowners that have money, have an average of 2 or 3 HVAC systems based on the size of their home, that's where you can make a lot of money. So that really good offer could be some tune-up where you're including the filter change. You do take on, minor repairs and include that with that with that tune-up. You do some, just a lot with that tune-up. Or you could say in those offers like, hey, we're going to do this this $3,000 discount, or this, you'll get one HVAC system at this really low price. Because then when those homeowners hire you, if they have 2 or 3 systems in their house, well, now you just made your money back up. And it makes sense because you're getting in front of those ideal customers. You have the really good offer to increase that conversion rate. Now, to get a list like this, you can use a tool called Leads Please. There are lots of other ones out there. That's just the one that I usually refer. But yeah, there's a lot out there. Great strategy to convert super high quality homeowners. Number 6 is to offer a free value PDF in exchange for somebody's email address on your website. So that PDF could say something like, hey, here are 7 ways to maintain your HVAC system, or hey, here are 5 things you can do when hiring an HVAC contractor to make sure you get the best deal possible. And people want to save money. They want to get value for themselves. So a lot of people, maybe they're just on the fence. Maybe they're not ready to quite go over the fence and submit a contact request to you, but maybe they're interested enough that they will provide their email in order to get that value PDF. A contractor that I work with, based out in Alabama, actually used this on their website, and over time they got hundreds of free leads just from having it on their website. They made that PDF once, threw it up there, and they have hundreds of extra emails that they can now market to in their database. Number 7 is to add a really creative feature to your company vehicles. A company that does this super well is a pest control company called Akita Pest Control. Now, in their trucks and their vans, I don't know if you might have seen them before, they have these giant bees on top of their trucks. And I am positive that little kids, when they're riding the car with their parents, hey, look, there's another one with the bee on it. Such a powerful branding tool. And it's something that you could do, you could do your company mascot. So it could be you could have a little, if your company mascot is a teddy bear, you could have this little teddy bear with a wrench on top, or, maybe just a wrench itself, or some cool structural thing that you could put on top of your trucks, put on top of your vans to really stand out. And it doesn't have to be a structural thing. It could also be something really unique that you do with the truck wrap itself. A good example of a company that utilizes that is U-Haul. For a while on all of their truck wraps that you would see, there was like some new adventure, some new cool thing, some cool piece of artwork. I don't know exactly how that would apply to an HVAC company. You're creative. I bet you can figure it out. I don't know that you're creative. Maybe you are. But yeah, there's another idea for you. Number 8 is a give-based referral program. So a lot of companies, when they do a referral program, it's always something that the customer gets. Like, hey, we'll give you a discount, or give you a gift card, or we'll give you some other financial benefit if you get your friends to sign up with us. I feel like most people kind of want to look out for their friends, and it can kind of feel a little sleazy to recommend some company purely from I'm going to get this extra discount, especially since an HVAC ticket, $10,000 to $20,000 average ticket on an HVAC unit. If that's me, I'm going to feel a little weird presenting that to my friends. It's going to feel kind of like, it's a MLM scheme that I'm pitching them or something. You know what I mean? So sometimes I think the best referral programs can just be something that is give-based, right? Where the customer gets to help someone else by referring them. So, or not necessarily the person they're referring, but like, for example, you could have it so that each new system you sell goes to a pool of money. And once that money reaches a certain point, you use it to give away an HVAC system to someone in need. And so when you finish a job for a customer, you tell them about that program that you have. Hey, for each new HVAC system, because of this HVAC system we just did for you, we now have $100 extra in that pool. And for every person that you refer, that's $100 more that goes in that pool. How many referral cards would you like, Mr. Customer, right? I feel like people are going to feel good about referring you, right? You did a great service for them, and now by referring you, they're going to get to help even more people, because of that prize pool, or maybe it's a donation to a charity or something like that that's give-based. Number 9 is a thank you page video. What do I mean by a thank you page video? When someone goes to your website and submits a form, what happens? They're probably right now just being sent to an empty page that says thank you, or they are just getting a message that says, hey, your message was successfully sent. But this is free real estate. Actually, on our ads we run for clients, we see that a lot of people will stay and watch another video after they've submitted their information. And what does this do? Well, it gives you a chance to connect with your customers via a video. So that video could be 5 minutes of your company's story, mission, vision, values. You could show pictures of work that you do. You could show, video testimonials of your happiest customers. You can show, just highlight your reviews on Google of the best customers that, were happiest with you. That is something that people like, if I call a company out to get a quote, and now I have a chance to learn a little bit more about them, and it's right there. I don't have to go search them. It's just right in front of me, right? I'm probably going to stay and just, let's see who these guys are. And so then when you call them to schedule, now they're more likely to remember you A. And then once you give them the quote and come out, you're just higher on their mental awareness throughout the whole process, and you're a lot more likely to get that deal. Number 10 is to offer other services that are less competitive. So, especially during the shoulder season, if everybody's bidding on HVAC, everybody's bidding on HVAC replacement leads and repair leads and tune-up leads, by bidding on something else, right? By advertising for something else that's not as competitive, like water softeners or purifiers or, duct cleaning or generator sales or something like that, it's a lot cheaper to market for that stuff. And once you get in the home, you can say, hey, we also do HVAC. There's a good chance that at least maybe like 1% of those leads, maybe a little bit more, but maybe 1% will also want you to do something with their HVAC system. Or at the very least, you could give them a magnet and say, hey, if your HVAC system has problems or you want to take advantage of this special deal before summer hits, it lasts up until this time for 5% off, 10% off, whatever. And that magnet would have your phone number on it, your website on it, and they could just slap that right on their HVAC system, right? So when their HVAC system is having problems and they see that magnet, they know exactly who to call to get that special offer because you got in their home through the back door, right? The back door being one of these other offers. So that's the 10 ideas, guys. If I met your expectations and you walked away with at least 3 ideas that are new that you've never heard before, that you feel like you can apply in your business, I'm gonna ask you to subscribe. Also hit the notification bell because we're gonna be making a lot more content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.